Over the weekend, the Memphis Grizzlies suspended their star Ja Morant from all team activities after he was caught holding a gun on IG Live. This comes just 2 months after the NBA suspended Morant for being seen with a gun in a Denver nightclub that led to Morant entering a counseling program. Former NBA player Kwame Brown would go off on Morant for not learning his lesson and being caught with a gun for a second time. Brown called Morant the dumbest player in the league. I've heard of NBA young boy, but you are NBA dumb boy. Today we have our comedy hype analysts, Capone and Pierre, calling into the show to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at the clip that got Ja Morant in trouble for the second time. Now, we've talked about this the first time, and here we are circling back for the second. Pierre, I'm coming to you. Once you saw that clip, what was your first reaction to it?
Of course, like many, I was shocked. But I had to get my mind together and remember he's a 23-year-old young boy. Yes, he's in the NBA. Yes, he's making a lot of money. But the core of who he is a 23-year-old boy. You know, we think that because you're 23 and you're in the NBA, you're making millions, you're mature. He's not mature, you know. Now, that doesn't give him the right, you know, to get a pat on his back like he did the first time and keep it moving. But when I saw it, I realized, you know, he's just a young boy that is just lost. And we, unfortunately, think he should be on another level. We wish he would because of the circumstances around it. He came out of to be make it to the NBA, to have $250 million. Come on, we like, brother, we don't want to see you squash that. So a lot of people are hurt. People who supported him are hurt. And those who, wanted him to be punished more are now saying, yeah, I told you. I don't think that's the right thing to do. But at the same time, he does need to be punished. And I guess we'll talk about that.
Absolutely. Capone, I'm coming over to you. I know we've had this conversation, and last time you were very open, being that was a lifestyle that, you once were involved in. I'd love to know, what was your reaction when you first saw this clip surface?
First of all, I don't think it was on his live. You carry who you keep your company with, and it could have been the same day as he had in the club. They just split the things up. He was probably had the gun on him all day. I'm just giving benefit of the doubt. And we're quick to judge and say, well, this gun-toting thug, we don't know all the facts. And if it is a different day and he likes carrying guns, then that's against the NBA policy, then he'll get what he deserves. But know the facts first. It could have been the same exact day that he went to the club, but it's just so amazing to me that he's always with somebody that's promoting that type of stuff. The guy that's driving with him in the car.
Yeah, and I think you make a great point. It's definitely not his live, but this was a recent live of them going live in the car. I love being able to, give the benefit of the doubt, but it was a recent live that it did take place. But, we're not the only ones they're commenting, Pierre. I think you hit it right on the head. A lot of people are disappointed and hurt, and one of those people is Kwame Brown, which that we're familiar here at Comedy Hype. And he gave his thoughts on it, so I want to take a look at his clip, and when we come back, I want to get your reaction to it. Let's take a look.
Ja Morant, you like to play with guns, huh? So instead of you just being in your house, buying all the guns you want, playing with all the guns you want off camera, you want to get in trouble for having a gun at a club, give a bullshit apology, and then show a gun on Instagram Live. I've heard of NBA young boy, but you NBA dumb boy. You got to be the dumbest motherfucker in the league. You got $231 million promised to you, and you want to be a fucking thug? You have a Second Amendment right to have a gun. But what the do you keep pulling it out menacing for? What is up with all this music you keep listening to? Is this music putting you in a trance, dumbass boy? You're going to be bouncing around with niggas all day long, just listening to music in the backyard of a goddamn shack if you keep on being a jackass. And your friends ain't your goddamn friend. Because I done dumb shit before. And when I noticed a real friend? See, a real friend don't keep telling no man over and over and over what's right and what's wrong. You just tell them and you let them make their own decision. That nigga that got that cell phone and knew you got a gun and know you dumb enough to pull it out on camera, he should have never been recording your dumb ass. You want to be the new Gilbert Arenas. It's this fucked up ass culture where a black man just can't be a fucking black man just because he listening to a goddamn song. Since when music and a gun go together, you dumb motherfucker? I'm done talking to your dumb ass. You just dumb. You just a nigga that can jump. Somebody need to tell it to you just like this. You a dumb, stupid nigga. All this goddamn money these white folks giving out, $231 million, and you niggas just trying to give it back? You niggas just, I don't want the $231 million white man. You giving me all this money for? Get some of this shit back. Just stupid for no goddamn reason.
Pierre, I'm gonna come straight to you to I want to get your reaction to it, and also, do you think this is being blown out of proportion any?
No. With Kwame Brown, I see no lies detected on this situation. No, it's good. No, it's not blown out of proportion. We, black men, period, are dying at a crazy rate in these streets from handguns and guns and so forth. And to perpetuate it is absolutely ridiculous. But again, with John Morant, people say them are his friends. Them are his friends. He just has low-hanging fruit friends, probably. We think because, again, he's in the NBA, he has money, that he's going to have the right people around him. It doesn't work like that all the time. It doesn't work like that. If the individual doesn't want the right people around him, they're not be around him. That's it. He's not going to have upstanding people. Maybe he didn't come around. They say he's a middle-class boy, didn't come from the hood, whatever the case may be. But, inside of him, he might think he's a hood dude. That's what he wants to be. But I say one thing, soon a nigga and his money will part. Okay, a nigga, not a black man. Soon a nigga and his money will part.
Capone, let me bring you in. Same thing. I'd love to get your reaction after hearing from Kwame Brown. What are your thoughts?
Well, with Kwame, anything he says is going to be straightforward. That's what I love about him. He don't cut to the point. I even like when him and Pierre was at it.
Well, you should.
But I will say this, man. He's 100% right, and I don't think nobody would have put it out there like he put it. That's real dumb. Any way you look at it, Pierre said it right. Those are his friends, and they don't even have enough sense to try to save him. They'll go down and say it in every comment. Yeah, man, that's how we get down. We stick together no matter what the situation. When things looking good, we all good. When things looking bad, at least we still together. Yeah, that's dumb. Change your friends. Change yourself. And like he said, I don't know what the hell the music tells you to pull out a little pistol and do all of this shit. Even dumber people pull out two fingers.
Well, as you both mentioned, Kwame Brown is a very straightforward person. One person that he did mention in that is Gilbert Arenas, and as we know, that's a former NBA player who also experienced some of this trouble with guns, right? So for those that don't know, he did bring an unloaded gun to an arena during his time with the Wizards. He was suspended for the rest of the season, but he actually, the first time John Morant got in trouble, he actually did an interview to warn John Morant about, the whole situation because he had that experience. So I want to take a look at a direct message to John Morant from Gilbert and get you all's thoughts. Let's take a look.
When it comes to tiers, you were a one-tier player. You're supposed to be the future. Just real reality, because no one's going to tell you this. You are number one. You, Luka, Tatum, they have now bumped you to tier 2, tier 3. No matter what you go out there and do, moving forward for at least the next 3 years, you're going to be behind those players because of the image. You're going to have to really sit back and re-image yourself, unfortunately. It's just one of those things where, you want to be mindful, but you still have to be a little real. If you don't get voted in the All-Star game, those coaches are going to look the other way. You're really going to have to duck your head and just play basketball. And I just want to tell you that, it's going to be a tough one, especially mentally. But just understand at the end of this dark tunnel, there will be light. Be careful of the words you say when you do have to talk to media. Your goal right now is to be back where you were 2 weeks ago. And that, unfortunately, that's going to take about 2 years.
Now, as I mentioned, Gilbert would share that message to John Morant the first time he got in trouble. For this second time, he would actually repost this video on his story with the caption, "Did none of y'all send this to Ja?" Pierre, I'm going to come to you because I know you've been hinting at answering this question. We heard Gilbert say a couple things. He says you're going to have to work on your image, duck your head, shut the world out, and just play basketball. So I want to ask you, what do you think should happen to Ja Morant next? What do you think that looks like now that we've seen this for the second time?
I agree with mostly what Gilbert Arenas says. Man, I didn't know tier 2 and tier 3. I mean, we got a whole bunch of analysts on here. What tier am I on this sucker? God damn, I mean, me think now. My tier 2 and tier 3. I done fell out. I thought tier 1 we started, but it's all good. What's funny about it? What's about that? We have a sector of the Black culture that don't give a damn. About the structure of business. There's people say, man, damn the NBA. Fuck, he ain't got to cower his head down. He ain't got to walk straight. He do what the hell he want to do. There's a lot of that going to be in the comments too. So he already got his $230 million. This is when prior to what this is what he's saying, not prior to this situation. He got $231 million. So people would say, I don't give a, he got his money as long as he shoot hoop. Damn the rest of the stuff. But there is a lot into sponsorship, your image, but if you don't care about it, then you do what he does. If you don't care about the extra money and all the other stuff and being an all-star as long as he plays well, then you're gonna have a fan base that's gonna be like, yeah, anti-league and anti-people telling white man telling what to do and stuff. Do what you do, nigga. All that, just make that money. Just make your regular salary and show up and shoot them hit 28, 29 points a game, average that. But I would say, to me, Gilbert also brought a gun into the NBA situation, an NBA locker room. So the Stern had to give him, I think it's suspended for the rest of the season. At the time, John, he had it, somewhere else outside. But still, it's a different time. We're moving on. We're trying to clean all that kind of stuff up. I say a 1-year suspension and 10% of his salary, which is about $23 million, out the door. That'll pinch him close enough. If he don't care about $23 million being pinched on him in a 1 year not playing next season at all, then then damn give him shit. Give him a gun. Shit, give him some guns if you don't care no more after that. But I say that's what I would say: a year suspension and 10% of his salary, which is $23 million. That could teach him because again, he is the face of the NBA. Kids do look up to him. Kids want to be like him. And if he's not even considering them, especially as young men are dying in the streets with these guns, and he don't care enough to watch what he does, then hit him with that big ass fine, and we'll see. And next time he do it, out the league.
Capone, let me bring you in. I'm going to add a layer to this, Capone, because I know we talked about this last time, and as I mentioned earlier, you're always so open on these, especially given your experience. So first question, I want to know, why do you think we're seeing this happen a second time? After that first offense where he got into trouble, and we thought, okay, he's going to get the help, and here we are again. And then also, I'd love to hear what you think should happen next to Ja Morant that could possibly help him.
There's definitely some type of mental problem there. Something is unbalanced. And when you get unbalanced, this is what you get. When you surround yourself, not to say that people make him do things, but when you surround yourself around people who are not on that same caliber as you, they don't, it's sad to say, a lot of people look for your downfall. But the real bad, to me, that this whole situation is a bad thing, but it's just amazing to me how much attention this is getting when this doesn't, the school shootings and all of the trying to work out reforming the gun laws are not getting this type of press. They're not getting this type of press. Here you got an NBA player that pulled out a gun, didn't kill nobody, didn't shoot nothing, and getting all what we need to do to him, what he needs to be done. Everybody got an opinion. When you got these schools being shot up left and right, and they have yet to do anything to reform the gun laws. So it's sickening to me. But hey, this is the world we live in.
Yeah, but the one different thing, Cap, is he's working for a company. He's working for the NBA. People who pull out guns and start shooting at schools, we're not wondering what job they're at. We can go to their job, they work at Walmart, and then what we say. But this man, it's an image, it's an image. NBA is a money-making image place, and it's a business. And if you're working for that business and you're pulling guns out and shooting people, you will get that. So now if someone just comes to a school and shoots up a school, I mean, where's that person work at? Is that we're going to work at the refinery, worrying about the refinery? But Like I said, I think that's the major difference. You're working for somebody, and that somebody is about to have a problem with that.
Yeah, and I actually want to read a tweet. Carlos Miller kind of reflects what you said, Capone, but he took it a step further. Here's what Carlos Miller tweeted. He said, maybe Ja Morant can get an endorsement deal from one of these mega huge gun manufacturers. America loves guns. Yeah, but I think we'll just continue to see how things unfold, and we'll keep covering it here on Comedy Hype News Show. As always, I appreciate you both for chiming in on this topic. Of course, before we head out, I'd like to know what you have going on. So, Mr. Pierre, you got your stunners on today. You're blocking the haters. So I'm going to ask, what do you have? If you're telling people what you have coming up, what do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
Comic Pierre, COMIC PIERRE, on my social media platforms. Where we going? Oh yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina, June 7th. That's a Wednesday. I'm coming for you, Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Comedy Zone. Looking forward to seeing y'all. But no, I'm just gonna relax. I'm chilling, man. I'm just enjoying the hard work we've done here for the season. Me and Ricky Smiley going to with some other people going to Bimini on the end of the month. In the boat, relaxing on the beach, living the good life, and that's really the size of it. But one thing I'll say about this thing real quick with Ja Morant, I don't understand what the need to show guns in a non army shooting targets or whatever, showing guns in videos that us young black men just need to show. What do we need to constantly show guns in our videos as a joyous thing and pointing it at the camera? When you see so much violence in the streets with guns, I don't really. Again, I'm not going to keep saying, well, white people do it when they, but I care about the black people. Again, well, why we keep saying another bad situation? Let them have it. They do it. We can do it. Well, that's how you feel about it. All these young black men killing each other on the streets because white people get to have guns too and get to show their guns on. Okay, then. Well, then. All right, then. Don't cry for the mothers at least when they lose their children. At least do that. At least do that.
I couldn't agree with you more. Capone, I'm coming over to you. Capone, I thought about you this weekend. I saw Busta Rhymes live, and I gotta tell you, I don't know why I thought, I was like, they kind of remind me of one another.
Hell no! Hell no! Busta what? Busta Rhymes.
He was funny. He was entertaining. Capone could be very animated. I was like, man, this reminds me of Capone. But Capone, what do you have coming up? I know you just dropped a video, I Miss You, for Mother's Day that I did watch. Congratulations on that. Of course, what else do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
The video and the song has been very successful. We hope to continue it to grow out, let people know they're not alone when they lose their mothers. And, I'm a big advocate of that. I'm in Vegas now just because I have to get away from everything when it comes down to Mother's Day. I get a little depressed. And so now, I feel good. I'm actually getting ready to go to Houston to go do a big show. If you want to see me, rather speak to me, hit me up on Instagram, Comedian Capone. And if you can't spell comedian, then the contract is off. Good night.
I appreciate it so much. Again, thank you both for chiming in on this topic and offering your thoughts on this. As always, we're going to keep covering and see how things continue to unfold. But you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts about Gilbert Arenas warning Ja Morant? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in them comments.
In the comments. Big fan of the Comedy Hype News Show? Well, now you can join us live in studio for lunch at Comedy Hype. Click the link down below in our description or go to our Instagram page and click the link in our bio for your chance to RSVP. I hope to see you here for Comedy Hype News. I'm Symphony Thompson.